What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with breaking news yet again. So it looked like Christie Sides is in some serious hot water after refusing to answer a reporter question about that starting lineup change. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. First to tell you, man, I was one of the guys that was kind of going to bat for Christie Sides, though. These last couple days, these last few games, I thought she figured it all out. Man, after today game, I don't know, dog. She had me scratching my head like, wow, not again. Indiana defense was completely in shreds, bro. Caitlin Clark literally had to put the team on her back and rally them back into this ball game. Now, a lot of reports is coming out that the reason they might have lost this game is due to Christie Sides changing the starting lineup, man. She removed Lexi out of the starting lineup, and that there is raising red flags with fans, and it's also raising red flags with her press conference after she refused to go in depth to answer that question. And as for today's game, it's being reported that Indiana Fever suffered a disappointing loss to Washington Mystics this past evening, considering that the Fever were at home and that the Mystics were 5-17 leading into the game. The expectation was that Indiana will be able to secure a relatively easy victory. Due to inconsistent play and some suspect coaching decision by head coach Christie Sides, Fever team suffered an embarrassing loss that will set them back in the WNBA standing. One controversial decision Sides made was drawing up a play for someone other than Caitlin Clark during that final possession, and that is one of the reasons why fans is mad and is demanding for Christie Sides to be terminated. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a long couple of days for head coach Christie Sides. Now, in that press conference, she refused to answer a question in regards to the starting lineup. Let's roll the footage right now.
I'm curious what you thought of the starting lineup change and how it impacted the whole game.
Yeah, I don't think it impacted the whole game. That was a coach's decision, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, there goes my next question. I was going to ask you what the thinking was behind making that change. You're not going to answer.
That was just a coach's decision, and that's where we're going to leave it.
What changes when you end up putting Katie Lou at that 4 spot with the wing, whether it's Lexi or whoever else? Just what changes for her when she shifts down and kind of plays taller?
Yeah, I think Katie Lou just stretches the defense with her shooting ability. You're able to have a lot of like pick and pop situations that can be beneficial for us, especially with the way teams guard Caitlin, and just gives us an opportunity to have an outside shooter, which is going to draw some defense out, and then some high-low looks.
Go Chloe, then we go Kelsey.
Yeah, you had the high of beating Liberty and the low of this game. Just how you keep your team focused for the quick turnaround on Friday.
Yeah, 48 hours, got to get ready for a really hungry Phoenix team that's going to want to get us back from what they did on their home court. Yeah, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Come together tomorrow. We're going to practice. We're going to watch this video. We've got to figure out why the first 3 quarters looked the way they did, and then we were able to come out in the 4th quarter and hold them to 13 points and score 29 points. It's just something you've got to turn on from the beginning, and we just didn't do that. I've got to figure out what I can do better to help us start those quarters better.
Go Kelsey, then we'll go Andrew in the back.
You mentioned a little bit about the 4th quarters, back-to-back games with solid minutes. Just what was said during that 3rd quarter timeout before the 4th quarter that kind of just sparked that comeback?
I just continue to encourage them to keep fighting, keep playing. We have the ability to put a lot of points on the board really fast, got to play fast, got to get, good looks, but take care of the ball. I thought we came out in the 3rd and we held them to 5 points, I think, the first 5 minutes. And then once, I think they ended up with 20 in the second 5. And, that's where we have to do better and grow and be able to, as we're making that comeback, get those stops and not allow them to get on a run as well. And then had a whole different 4th quarter. I really thought that 3rd quarter with the 5 points, we were going to be in a really good position at the end of the 4th to go away with it. And but we just, we weren't able to get stops, put them at the free throw line, gave up way too many offensive rebounds.
Go Andrew in the back.
Christie, you all have had some comebacks this season. When you see the team just rallying around each other on the court, whether it's Caitlin, whoever it may be, what's that growth from a leadership standpoint of taking that ownership to never be out of these games?
Yeah, I think that's just like one of the biggest pieces for a young, inexperienced team is to get that chemistry, get that camaraderie, come together. When things get hard, because they will get hard. I mean, this is a great league. Every team is good, regardless of their record. So when those hard times come, just having people come together and fighting through those hard times. And we continue to get better at that. I mean, we did it in the Phoenix game and, in the Vegas game, there were moments, and then against New York. So we have to figure out those moments and come together and be able to stop some of those runs that these teams are going on us. And, when the ball's not falling for us, not let it affect our defense.
Okay, last one on Zoom. George, want to go ahead?
George Boy from the Just Say Boys Sports Podcast. Coach, when you have a fourth quarter like that, is there anything positive you can take away going into the next game, or is it we're starting from scratch and we got to get ready for Phoenix no matter what happened?
No, I think you definitely can take something. It just shows who we can be. If you get a consistent quarter, you can have a bad quarter, but you can't have 3 bad quarters. And so, like, what they were capable of doing after giving up 26, 25, and 25, holding them to 13, I mean, I think we got great looks. We've just got to make sure we can't let, a one quarter, okay, we can manage that one, but not a
In
second.
the system, I guess, what did you think of the lineup change with Lexi replacing Nalissa?
Yeah, I just go with whatever coach puts in there. I mean, I trust my teammates, and I think no matter who's on the court, like, you got to compete as hard as you can every single second, and I think they do that. I think we all do that. I just think collectively we could have worked a little bit better together from a defensive schematical perspective of, what we needed to execute, and that goes for everybody, whether you came off the bench or whether you were in the starting lineup. Like, we just didn't really execute defensively or really offensively until we got into the fourth quarter.
Zion.
Caitlin, just to follow up on that, what do you feel like changes about your lineup, about your team on both ends when you put Lexi in there at the 3 and have Katie Lou at the 4?
Yeah, I mean, it gives you different looks, but even if we went with people on the bench, like, it still gives different looks. So, I mean, I don't think you can get too caught up in who's starting, who's not starting. Like, that's just basketball. That's just what happens. It can change from game to game. I don't make those decisions, obviously. So, I'm the point guard. I'm just trying to put people in positions to be successful, and whatever coach goes with, then that's perfect, and everybody on the team responds to that.
Go down, back right.
Caitlin, 23 points off 23 turnovers for them. From your perspective, what was the biggest contributing factor to that today?
I think not being on the same page. I think there was a lot where they were very self-inflicted. Like passing it to the other team or not being on the same page. And I mean, it's really hard to win basketball games when you have 23 turnovers, and especially when they lead to 23 points, and then also offensive rebounding. They had 13 points on their second chance points. We had 4. I think we gave up 10 O-boards and we got 2. So those two combined together, plus our not very great defense, makes it really tough. But like I said, you got to give us a little bit of credit. Like, we really fought and we battled and we didn't give up. But in this league, that's still going to be really hard to overcome.
Third row on the right, then we'll go back corner on the left.
Caitlin, you mentioned the fourth quarter comeback. You were kind of in the center of that late. Was there anything that kind of clicked for you toward the end of the game, or was it just kind of a sense of urgency?
I think just play hard. I wasn't going to give up. I don't care if we're down, 20-plus points. I don't want to get beat by 40. Might as well do everything we can to make it close. And 10 minutes of basketball is a lot of time. And I think we cut it to 15 with 8:30 on the clock. That's a lot of time to, get something going for us. And I think we got it to 3, and it came down to a jump ball. And I probably could have grabbed it and boxed my girl out just a little bit better. So just comes down to a few things. But like I said, when you're down this much, you can't let it get to that point. That's where it's still really hard to win. You need everything to kind of fall in your favor to really be able to complete the comeback. And but yeah, I think just compete and play as hard as I can. I wasn't going to give up.
Back row on the left, then we'll go back up front to Chloe.
Hey, Caitlin, we were watching you evolve. We're watching your game evolve a little bit, and we're seeing you become more of a vocal leader to the team. I saw you grab the girls at about the 5-minute mark, and you pulled them all in. I think you mouthed to them like one stop. How do you feel right now in this current, I guess, state of the season, like as becoming like the emerging leader of the team? Do you feel that way?
I mean, I think as a point guard, you have to be vocal, like whether I want to or whether I don't want to. Like, there's no choice there. Like, if you're going to be the point guard, like, you have to be vocal for your team. They look to me to call a play every single dead ball. They look to me to call a play when the other team goes to the free throw line. But also, I want to motivate them and encourage them and be somebody that they can lean on. And I feel like that's something that I'm going to continue to still find my voice in. Like, obviously, I'm a rookie and still trying to kind of learn my way and learn my teammates at the same time. So, yeah, I think it's definitely an area I've improved in, and I'm going to continue to improve in.
Got the last two. Go close.
This was just a tough game to watch, man. That was Christie Size and Caitlin Clark talking about what exactly happened with the outcome of this game. I believe this game is going to still raise eyebrows in regards to Christie Size's future with the Indiana Fever. But, guys, definitely get down in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them Bills on because you know I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, man, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out.